Happy Thursday, everybody. That's right. I'm wearing the same shirt I wore yesterday on Sith Council. Why? Is it because I pre-taped in the same day, or I mean, just don't give an F anymore? You figure it out. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of stuff going on today. A lot of stuff going on. One of the things going on is that we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, and all you got to do is join on up, everybody. Join on up. That's what you got to do. Join on up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. What do we have going on today? Well, today we're going to talk about, there's that Samaritan trailer that came out yesterday with Stallone. I like that. Roxy Stryer was at Comic-Con. We're going to hear about her adventures and everything that went on. Apparently, I still think that Dorina is the queen of getting people into parties, but apparently Roxy stepped up and she was pretty good too. I do the intel on these things, and I heard that she's pretty damn good, and I'm sure she was. I want to know what the Comic-Con experience was like when you don't have to work it for Roxy. I'm sure if I'm going to guess, it's probably her most favorite one because she didn't have to work, if I was to guess. But we'll find that out. There's a Del Toro Pinocchio trailer that came out. I know that's why everybody's clicking on this one to see and to find out about. We're going to talk about the Marvel stuff. We're going to talk about what we're going to see now at D23, what they held back at. I'm watching The Old Man. I wonder if Roxy is. Okay, what a show that is. Holy moly. So we're going to talk about that. I feel like Roxy might have even said that on the last show, and for some reason I ignored her and then discovered like I did it on my own. I'm sticking with that. This is something that Roxy didn't even know about, but you guys knew about it. This Saturday, a couple days, Jake Lewis and friends of Flappers Comedy Club, and I'm going up, doing a set. I'm excited about it. So a lot of these cats I don't know about yet, but it doesn't mean they're not funny. I'm also been out of the game for a little bit. Christian Henley, William Zhao, Dylan Fisher, Matthew Coe, Irma Rivera, Jamie Costa is going to be there. The great Jake Lewis and some guy named Ken Knapsack. So you can be there too. Go to Flappers at 9:30 on Saturday, July 30th. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, come see us, because this is the type of stuff that makes me go, okay, maybe I'll do more of this. If some of the big thing audience is coming on out to watch this, hey man, then maybe we'll do more of these. And we're, like I said, we're going to be trying to do a tour. We can get to 70,000 by the end of the year. So come support at Flappers. Roxy won't. All right, let's do it. It's the big thing. Oh, that's not it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's the council. No, it's not the council. I don't know what's happening anymore. It's the big thing. It's a hell of a show already.
That was so good. One of my favorites of your intros, Kristian. Really good.
My intros are second to none. Jimmy Fallon and Kimmel have nothing on me.
Nothing. It was like you're in the 70s, but also today, but yesterday, you know? Really just living.
Yeah, just living life. Just doing what you got to do.
Living your best life.
Yeah, I'm glad you listened to me about The Old Man, but then didn't know that you listened to me about The Old Man.
Telling me about The Old Man? Is that true, or did I make that up?
No, for sure. Been telling you about The Old Man.
Okay,
really
Brad, is that true?
You thought she was talking about me, but she was talking about a show.
I believe it. So yeah, I tuned into it the other day. We were trying to find something on TV, and maybe it was just a subconscious. I said, I heard this show's pretty good. My wife's like, from who? I go, I don't know.
Some broad. People don't use broad enough.
I don't listen.
Probably right. Probably right.
Bring back broad. Yeah.
Bring back broad.
It couldn't be legit. Some broad told me about it. So we were looking around and we said, oh, let's check it out. We like Jeff Bridges. So Brett, you know what I did though? I said I cut my wife off with the nonsense this time, and we were 5 minutes into it. And there's a scene where Jeff Bridges is kind of working with his wife because she's been going through some stuff, and it's kind of sad. It's real sad. And my wife's like, I don't know if I could watch this. It's too depressing, and I don't know. I think I'm done. And I'm like, no, we're finishing it. I'm like, we're finishing it. I go. I'm telling you this. It's supposed to be like old Jack Bauer type stuff going on. She's like, really? And I'm like, I'm telling you, there's more to this than just this. And I said, this is good. And this is really, because we both thought it was great acting, but we're like, we how deep are we getting here? And then it just goes. Yeah. And man, it is. Did you watch it yet, Brett?
I haven't watched that, but
okay.
I mean,
we'll talk about we'll talk about what you're watching. But
have a lot of time.
Roxy's gonna be.
I watched it, Kristian. I know.
Have you seen it, Roxy? Have you seen The Old Man?
I saw a whole thing. It's
Have you
done
watched
now. Or
oh,
season
it's
1.
done? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and it's
It delivers?
but it's really great. But what I will say is that by the end of it, I was like thinking we had another episode, and then I realized we have another season.
Oh, that's
So,
great. Hey,
yeah.
but that's good news. That's good news.
Yeah.
And so John Watts, director of Spider-Man No Way Home, directed the first episode. I don't know how many directs after that, but he directed the first episode.
I think it's
at
his
first
show.
glance,
I mean, it might be his show, but directing wise, he directed the first.
when I saw the preview for it, I thought it looked a little cheesy. So you're saying
Not
it's a
cheesy.
yeah.
It's not cheesy at all. It's
really good.
It's and again, I can't. Roxy can definitely speak about it more than I can because I only seen the first episode. But John Lithgow is also in it. It's great. Like the writing is really good in this show. The writing is really, really good. I underrated show. Not enough people are talking about this show. It's
everything on FX is always a total banger, and now that FX is on Hulu, it's more accessible. So I'm hoping that people will kind of catch on to this later. Did you used to watch Arrested Development, Kristian? Never.
The ex-girlfriend, they always just get me to try to watch it. And I just never would watch it. Nothing against.
One of the girls on the show is from Arrested Development, and it's really cool to watch that she is like this dramatic powerhouse. But in that show, she's
Maybe?
Yeah, Maybe's on the show.
So it's yeah, man, I really, and Jeff Bridges is doing some great stuff, and I don't even know where it's gonna go. But like last night, my wife was when we got home, she was tired, so she's like, "Do you want to watch another episode?" Oh man, I'm like, I don't know if you're in that mood tonight. I was like, "Why don't you finish The Bachelorette?" She's like, "All right," that's what she watched. So
are you watching The Bachelorette, Kristian?
When I'm checking my emails and I'm doing stuff while I'm sitting on the couch with her, I'm definitely browsing to see what's going on. But it's definitely like I saw the rose ceremony last night. What a sloppy mess that was.
It breaks my heart when I'm watching it. It is so sad because these two women are competing for the same men. And usually I feel like when you are the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, by the way, the only reason I watch the show is because of you, Kristian, and now you've kind of abandoned me, which is messed up.
I'm sorry.
But there's the one person. And so even if that person is kind of lame, everybody is into them.
Yes.
Like never are people not just gaga for that person.
No.
So to be the Bachelorette and just to continue to get rejected by guy after guy after guy, it's so sad to watch. There's something about it.
You still want to have me to try to get you on that show?
Oh, I remember. Yeah. I forgot about that.
You Scotty, didn't you?
This is what I went in. I went in for it, but remember they had already cast it.
Yes.
So that was interesting. I don't know. I think I would kind of suck on the show.
No, you would.
No
shit.
No, I would. I'd be back at it.
I know. No chance. Roxy, you would be incredible on that show. Are you kidding me?
I just kind of mean like, I feel like everybody, I read something the other day that said, and Kristian, you would know way better than I because you are a producer for things like this. Didn't you worked for The Bachelor, right? So I don't know if you can confirm or deny this, but
I don't work there anymore.
They like starve the girls, like they don't give them food, and they feed them so much alcohol, and then they wake them up at 5 a.m, and they don't let them go to bed until 1 a.m, and then these women are like sleep deprived, starving, and hammered, and I'm like, ooh, that is a messy combination.
So here it's not that they starve them in general, it's that, and it's not even the girls, it's all
the guys too. Yeah.
It's during the opening night. The first night, food is scarce. On that night because alcohol is a flowing because they want to get some stuff. So it's not a matter of there's food. It's just not as much as there might be the next night. You know what I mean? So it's like it is. Remember, they're rats in a cage. All of them.
They never eat on the dates. That's always driven
me
crazy.
It's always on the table and they leave it there. But the other thing is too, it's so different now why you go on that show today as opposed to why you went on back in the day. Because everyone was like, oh, there's people back in the day. You go on that show, people think they're going to go on and become big TV stars, and they're out of their minds, and it's never going to happen. But now you go on that show to build a business with your social media. That's what you do. Like all of those people. Look at Ashley and Jared, who are married with a child, obviously, but they have built a business out of their social media, and they make a lot of money. And so
I saw them on a commercial the other day, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
they're also really, and I think Jared's a very talented host, by the way, too. Jared could have done a lot more outside of just doing that stuff, but he's also an East Coast guy and wants just like kind of a proud papa now, and I love Jared. Jared is
Me
awesome.
too. Remember, he got me a gig. Do you remember that I worked for that show that he was doing this thing called Hoffer, which is a sports network, and he got me a job there and brought me in. Hell of a dude.
Jared's
just really, really great dude.
He's
I like Ashley a lot too. They're just
both.
all really sweet.
But you go on that show because you build your social media, and that's what basically happens now with a lot of them. And a lot of them, like now we just play games, my wife and I, when we look, and I go, oh, that person's on Bachelor in Paradise soon. Like the Brad Pitt bun guy that got kicked off, that guy's gonna be on Bachelor in Paradise. You know that he's gonna be.
I did not like him.
What a word! Yeah, but he's gonna be on. But you remember him? He's gonna be on Bachelor in Paradise.
I remember his body.
Right, he's gonna be on Bachelor in Paradise. That's my point.
Now we're too old for it, but Lonnie and I have a plan that was we would both be on Bachelor and Bachelorette, just gain enough recognition that we could get to Paradise and then meet each other in Paradise and then get this great vacation.
That's people have done that before and get called out on it.
Yeah, they do.
So true. All right, shifting over, I want to talk about. Well, actually, no. So, do you know? Because Roxy, you were out of town, so you missed a lot of the big thing drama, unless for some reason you were not drama, but not happenings. So you don't listen to it, I'm sure, ever, unless you're on it. But so
what's the tea?
No tea. So I was on the phone. I was talking to Brett last Thursday, I think it was, and we were talking about The Boys and talking about how he should watch it. And I said, well, is Lonnie watching it? And he's like, nah, she won't watch it with me. I'm just going to watch it by myself. And I said, get her on the phone. I said, put her on the phone. And so we get her on the phone, and
during the show.
And I said to her, well, he said, well, Kristian wants to know why you're not watching. And she gives the best answer ever. She goes, because I don't want to. and then so we just had a conversation about it. I said, will you just watch this for me, please? And she's like, fine. And I go, if you don't like it, you can yell at me about it. She's like, I will. I have not got an angry phone call from Lonnie. Season 1 is over in the Sheridan household.
No way.
What say you?
Insane. Great show. And I mean, that final episode, and we can spoil on here.
Yeah, so for people who haven't seen The Boys, again, time codes will be happening right now. So if you haven't seen The Boys, I would skip to the next time code, but you've been warned.
You're only talking about season 1, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, and you're telling me this gets crazier, but when he lasers Elizabeth Shue in the eyeballs, we were like,
yeah.
What the?
What does Lonnie think of the show now?
Oh, loves it. And she's like, and the juxtaposition of the, what's the guy? Oh, what's the
Homelander,
but the guy that has a
Huey.
vengeance. Not Huey.
Butcher.
Like that he's no better than Homelander because he has this vengeance, and she's like, it's just
Lonnie's a geek, is geeking out.
She's totally geeking out.
I didn't get one text from her apologizing. Unbelievable.
Does that mean you're going to do Severance or no?
Oh,
not me? You, Brett. Yes, you.
No, I'm saying Kristian. Yeah.
I mean, listen. Eventually, I have to remember. I got a lot of so right now is a downtime. Roxy, did you see I've been doing the TikTok?
I saw one TikTok and I liked it. Have you been doing more?
I've been doing about 3 a day.
Kristian.
Yeah, I've been trying to move on it, but
good.
But anyway, so I will. I do want to watch Severance. That's something I'm going to watch. But I have other things I got to do at the moment.
Are you having fun with the TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, I did the Knights of the Republic one, which I thought because I finally figured out the stupid. What I was upset about was how do you do this? What do I do? And I tried calling you, and you were too busy, so you didn't take my call. So I had to call someone else.
Texted you immediately that I was on air. Yep.
But you couldn't help me, so I had to call someone else, and someone else helped me out, and I got. You don't want to know. And
I feel like I know. You call, Kristian.
You don't want to know. So I got some advice and I used it and it worked. And I've been having some fun, but I've been putting it on YouTube, also been doing the YouTube shorts. But Brett, I want to hear more about The Boys. So go ahead and tell me about so you guys loving it. Are you watching season 2 yet, or still?
We're going to start season 2, but it's almost like we were just
taking
it all in and taking a little break from it. But no, I think I even told you just some of the things that they just like with the plane. Not the one with the politician, but the one.
Yeah. So that's when Winston brought up the plane. You were talking about the first plane.
Yeah, I was like, what? But it's just it's good. I mean, there's everybody, I feel the acting is great. It's just, and the creepiness of Homelander is just like, oh god,
Anthony starts chilling in that show.
Insane.
Why is he not getting nominated? I feel like he legitimately deserves nomination.
I know.
100%.
Well, I think he's about to blow up. I think you're going to see a lot more of him and stuff. I mean, there's rumors that he's going to be he's going to be Dracula and Blade. But I prefer to see him. I mean, of course you do, Kristian. I prefer to see him in like something like Jedi in Star Wars. I'd like to see him as but I want to see him play against type. I mean, I guess against type he was a good guy in Banshee, but I think against type and go now because everyone knows him as Homelander as a bad guy. I want to see him be like a good guy in something else too.
I bet he could do that really well, but it would take me a minute to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I mean, I didn't watch Banshee. Did you?
No.
Okay, so apparently he's a super good guy in Banshee.
He's like the actual worst ever. Ever. Of all, if we had to like list the worst human beings on TV, the worst characters, as in most evil, he's probably the most evil person I've ever seen on television.
He's up there, and I'll tell you though, that was the only reason. So I just did, and one of my TikToks, Rocky, that I did was I talked about my rankings of comic book movies and TV shows of 2022 thus far. And so The Boys season 3 came in at number 2 with Peacemaker at number 1. And
wow,
what? No Top Gun Maverick?
It's not a superhero show, Brett. You stop this. You
put Peacemaker above The Boys, huh?
Not overall. Not overall. If you ranked The Boys season 1 to Peacemaker, I'm putting The Boys over Peacemaker season 1. But season 3 I thought was great. But without spoiling anything for Brett or anybody else who hasn't watched season 3, something that you just said about Homelander that inside of the finale doesn't necessarily match up for me all the way. Still loved it, but there's just something in particular that I was like, oh, it's interesting that they went that route.
I'm curious what you're talking about. I have two different thoughts, two different.
Yeah, we can talk about it off here. So again, I don't want to spoil it for Brett or the audience.
Spoil it for Brett. It's so funny.
Might as well. But either way, it's like
forget in an hour.
He's so great. But who's your favorite characters so far, and who's your least favorite?
Well, I love Butcher.
Yeah.
Least favorite?
Carl Urban's best role, by the way, I think.
Yeah, it's so good. Well, I mean, least favorite, but I love it is Homeland. I mean, like he's my least favorite person. Actually, what was the other thing? You know what else Lonnie loved was when Deep Space the deep was getting like fingered in the gills, and she's like, oh, good for see, she's like,
she's gonna love season 3.
Where is she in the house?
No, she's at work, but
call her.
Yeah, she's like slapping me. See, see?
I'm telling you, that's
who's your favorite?
I mean, I think same thing is that it's like not favorite character. I mean, he's such a turd, but Homelander is like, he's just the acting and everything behind it. But Butcher's probably my favorite overall character because like how layered he is in general. Like you'll find out more about him, Brett, as you keep going on. There's more stuff that just I mean all of them, to be honest. Huey's great. I really like Mother's Milk too, by the way. I really MM is great, and a lot of them. Frenchie. Frenchie's awesome. Frenchie's awesome. They're all awesome. I mean, there's really not too many that I don't think there's anybody that I'm just like, eh.
I thought in season 3, the Frenchie storyline in season 3 was the weakest. I don't want to say
it was a little repetitive.
Yeah, exactly.
Repetitive. Yeah,
that was my one.
But that's my point. Is that it's just little things like that. Very little. I mean, I was here with Peacemaker and The Boys season 3, but then as I was looking at both of them, I should just be something like that, and then something that, as I mentioned at the end, it's like this. It's not like the Peacemaker won it out by so many.
The Peacemaker was freaking great. I think I probably recency bias for me because I love Peacemaker, but then I saw The Boys and I'm like all about The Boys right now.
Totally, I get it. I mean, and I like anybody that ranked it higher. Wow, I'm surprised. I totally got it, and it was not an easy decision by any stretch of the imagination.
What else is on your list, even?
So my ranking was the Peacemaker at number 1, The Boys season 3 number 2, The Batman at 3, Ms. Marvel at 4, Moon Knight at 5, Doctor Strange at 6, Thor at 7, and then Morbius at 8.
Ooh, you did Morbius dirty.
What's the last one? I mean, what would you have ranked higher than Morbius?
You mean lower?
Lower.
Honestly,
Thor?
Maybe Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So Doctor Strange and Thor, like,
I liked it less.
Yeah, but you could put for me, I could have shifted either one of those of Doctor Strange and
We have
Thor.
similar lists.
Yeah,
we have very similar lists.
I think a lot of people when I was putting it out there's a lot of people had similar lists as I did, and there were just a few. Like it's those top 3 spots that can move around. I saw a lot of the Batmans in number 1. Saw a ton of the Boys in number 1. I saw a lot of Peacemaker in number 1. So I think that those 3 you can interchange and
yeah.
Around.
I think I would go the Boys, the Batman, Peacemaker.
Yeah, and which I'm telling you those, and it's not like a super easy decision. They're all like really great. So
it's cool that you are comparing now in 2022 that people compare like TV to movies in that way. I feel like that
easily. Yeah, because you're essentially making these longer form movies that the budgets that go into them and how many episodes there are. Like we were just talking about this on Sith. Like you look at the Boys, which are about an hour and 10 minutes. Like a lot of their stuff that they do looked better than stuff and had more detail than something like Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is Star Wars, for God's sakes, and the 35-minute episodes sometimes, and some of the CGI didn't look good, and the volume was kind of standing out. And then you get something like the Boys and Stranger Things that really are utilizing every penny of their budget and look like films on television.
Yeah, I'm sure you talked about this, Kristian, but I just am really curious your thoughts. What do you think about the Lord of the Rings stuff? Did you see the trailer?
Yes, let's get into that in a second. And before we do, this is something I wanted to talk to you about, Roxy, because I told there's 2 things today, but the first one that I told Steph about that I definitely think you should know about, Roxy, is NORDPASS. Do you know anything about it?
No.
You need it more so than I thought about you right away when this came on for us as a sponsor. So NORDPASS is more than a password manager. It's a cybersecurity tool that makes everyone's life easier and safer. So if you use Facebook and you use it to log into every new website, application, or eShop, you think you're doing it because it's faster and easier. And if you're wondering what could happen if someone hacked your Facebook account, I'll tell you. Hackers basically get a free shot of all your accounts that are linked to Facebook, and not just personal information, not just credit card, not just delivery address. There's more serious crimes that can happen, whether it's identity theft, crimes committed under your name, loans, so on and so on. So NORDPASS is more than just a password manager. It is that cybersecurity tool, and it's the same people who built out the NordVPN, the advanced online security and private app used by more than 14 million users worldwide. So it is so great that we're able to work with them, because just basically what you can do with this is you can store all your passwords in one place. You can log in faster. You can generate secure passwords. You shop and browse faster. You save your time. There's a data breach scanner, password health. NORDPASS is a zero knowledge password manager. It is really a tool that I think everybody needs to get, and it's fantastic. I've been using it. I've been telling all my friends about it. I've been telling people, like Steph signed up for it immediately when I told her about it. It's nordpass.com/big thing. Excuse me, nordpass.com/big thing. And you can get 70% off of a 2-year NORDPASS premium plan at nordpass.com/big thing using that code big thing. And you get an additional month for free. We're very happy that this video is sponsored by NORDPASS. And I know people who have been hacked and did not have that password protection, and it made their lives hell. And you can get that help if you go to nordpass.com/thebigthing. The link is in the description. You also remember you get a 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't like it. So use that link and tell me about it once you do, because it's very, very helpful. Roxy, this sounds like something that would be incredible.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You don't think about things like this until you have a problem, and then it's too late. So
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So Roxy, to answer your question about Lord of the Rings. So you and I did that trailer reaction.
Right. That's why I wanted to know your opinion on this so bad, because we were both kind of like,
yes.
okay.
So what we saw like a little, and this is, so we saw like a little thing that was it was funny because when we did our reaction, I had some stupid setting on my Rodecaster, and our reaction doesn't even have the sound in the trailer that was there, but it wasn't even really a trailer. It was like a minute and a half, them looking at the sky blowing up, and we're like, it looks very CW-ish. It didn't look good. And I was like, I don't like what I'm seeing so far in this show. It looks just like you said, Rox. We're like, eh. And then they put it like a teaser.
The most expensive show of all time.
$50 million an episode.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The most expensive show of all time. So that's why expectations are like up here. When we watched it, we were like, did that even look like a normal budget show?
Well, and then the Game of Thrones trailer came out and blew people away. So they're like, okay, I don't know. But they released this first trailer that comes out, and it was before the Comic-Con one. And I saw the trailer and I said, well, wait a minute. That's the trailer that they should have shown. That's the trailer. So I used this example the other day, Roxy, where remember we hadn't seen anything from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Everyone's like, it's coming out this year. Like, coming out this year. We haven't seen anything about it. We haven't heard anything about it whatsoever. And they waited. They didn't show a damn thing. And they finally show something, and it just kicks everyone in the balls, and just everyone's talking about it now. And it's like,
a good kick in the balls.
Yes. Yeah. And they waited and they waited and they waited until they had something to show, and then they showed. They didn't succumb to pressure. They didn't say, okay, we got to get something out because people are talking about it. They waited and they waited, and then they delivered. Lord of the Rings succumbed over the pressure. We got to show them something. We got to show them something. The show's coming out. Show them something. And they weren't ready to show something. And the first two things that they showed weren't great. The first trailer that they showed that was pretty detailed looked a lot better, and I thought the trailer they showed at Comic-Con was great. I thought it was really good and got a lot more of a detail. Now, I'm going to also say this. I also understand of course I'm a Tolkien fan, but I'm not like a diehard Tolkien fan where I'm reading all the stuff and saying, oh my God, they better have this right, because they have that, right. They had that section of fan. I think that the Tolkien fans, the diehard, are going to hate this show. I don't think they should watch this show. I think they're going to complain. I think they're going to hate it.
Ooh, why do you think that?
Because it goes so far away from what Tolkien wrote, and they're going into different, they're playing off the mythologies a lot differently. And I'm already just reading what Tolkien fans are going. The Tolkien fans are going to hate this freaking thing. And I'm so curious to talk to like Rachel and like Robert Parker about this. But I don't think this is a show for Tolkien fans, because I think, and which is bizarre to say because it's a Lord of the Rings show, right? But I think it's more for the fantasy fans in general, because had they
see that thing, Kristian, about the beards, like people were upset the certain characters women aren't going to have the beards, and then they're like, trust us, we are doing this for the fans. I feel like
I don't know. I don't know. I'm really not sure, and I can't say, and I can't speak to the. It's not like when I read certain things in Star Wars, or I know certain Star Wars, and I can go, look, I'm hoping that they at least show this because this is part of the lore. I don't know anything about it, so I can, if a Tolkien fan is pissed off because what do I have? All I can tell, I can say, look, you don't like it, you probably shouldn't watch it. I think it's silly for people to go, well, I don't like it. So then if you're not a real fan, if you watch this because that's not what Tolkien wanted, I don't read the books. I don't read the Tolkien stuff. So I don't have the same attachment that you do. I'm not taking away that you probably have a good beef, but it's not going to affect me. Does it look good, or does it look like shit? To me, it looked good.
I'm glad it looked good to you. I don't know whether.
Start.
I'm glad it looked good to you.
I'm glad it looked good to you. I didn't think it didn't look good. Here's my problem, and this is such a me problem. I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way right now, but between Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones,
too much fantasy,
Dungeons and Dragons, like I'm just feeling right now like I want to laugh. Like I want more sitcoms.
Well, wait. Did you see that Dungeons and
Dragons was fun? Yeah, it looked funny. It did.
That did look funny.
So, none of like all these things look good to me. But where I'm at currently in terms of the Lord of the Rings show, I just am not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for it, and that's not their fault thing.
That's a you thing, but you know it, and
I'm just not in the mood to sit down and watch. It was the same thing when I watched. Did you try Wheel of Time?
I did, and I don't know. It wasn't that it wasn't good. I just wasn't able to.
I was not in the mood.
Yeah,
it was good. I just was not in the mood.
I am always in the mood. Fantasy is my favorite genre. Right?
I love fantasy too. I do.
So I mean, Game of Thrones. Like that, if I'm going to rank those three particular things, right? My expectations right now are Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon by a mile. I'm so pumped for that series for sure. Like even if I'm going to throw in Andor and She-Hulk, and let's throw in all those shows. And we're going to rank and Cobra Kai. We'll rank. Those are the big shows coming out for the remainder of the year, right? And if I'm going to rank all those shows right now, I'm going to say that my number one anticipated right now is House of the Dragon. Strangely enough,
Whoa,
right? I know. Number
I have
two,
a lot to say about that.
That's all right. Number 2 is Andor. Number 3 is Cobra Kai. 4 is what's the hell? What are the other 2?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, and then 5 is She-Hulk. So
Whoa.
that
You didn't like that She-Hulk trailer?
no, I'm not on board yet. I think that the last She-Hulk trailer was definitely better. It knows exactly what it wants to be. I forgot Dungeons and Dragons. I would rank Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a movie, right? Or this is a show?
Movie. That's a movie.
Okay.
I would, but it's not even coming out this year. It's next year. But I would put that ahead of She-Hulk by a little bit.
Let me ask you about She-Hulk. Like when we were talking about before, you said that like, oh, they had to put this out and the CG's not great and they're going to fix it. They didn't. Like it's still choppy and bad. I mean,
from what they're saying, that I'm still going to wait before I give it a full CGI judgment is that it doesn't transfer over all the way on YouTube, right? Apparently people who saw it in Hall H, it didn't look that bad. But
exactly what you want people to say about the property. It doesn't look that bad.
Yeah. But what I will say about the trailer itself,
if you have a 100-foot screen at home, it's going to look great.
Just throw the 100-foot screen up. It looks like what I say about the show in a positive light, it looks like it knows exactly what it wants to be. It's Ally McBeal. In the Marvel universe, it is the difference between like that and Thor is that the She-Hulk comics, and I know they went serious with her down the line, but in the comics, this is what the comics do: is she talks to the camera. It's more of a comedy. She is the Hulk while she's prosecuting. So it's all there, and this is all stuff that has already happened, and it's fitting the tone for sure. It's not like they're going off like Thor in the comics is not the Chris Hemsworth kind of clown thing that they're doing with him now, right? Clownish, I should say, what they're doing with him now. But She-Hulk has always been this way. So they're staying true to what the essence of what a lot of the fan base has gotten behind. So the question is, as Roxy, what you just said with fantasy, I think I'm over all of the comedy. It was such a breath of fresh air when I saw the Black Panther trailer. I'm like, oh, they're taking it serious again. Like this, even in Doctor Strange with the goofy Bruce Campbell scene with I know it was an homage to Evil Dead and all that too, but it's like it was just too much. It was just, and there was too much in Thor, and there was no balance to it. And the Eternals, again, that's why I like the Eternals. And it's so funny for somebody who's, hey, come see me do stand-up comedy on Saturday. I'm just getting beat over the head with some of the goofiness, and it takes me out of it.
So I'm super duper not talking about comedy in superhero or fantasy. I literally mean I just want more comedy, like a sitcom.
You want straight up comedy.
Yeah. I just am not in the mood right now for a very serious. I love fantasy.
Yeah.
When I was watching the trailer, I felt drained. I was just okay, here we go.
Well, what do you look at those ones though? Between if you can only watch Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, which one are you watching?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But my problem with Game of Thrones, actually, I didn't even hear this until Steph told me about it. Did you hear recently what the showrunner? How do you say his name? Sapachnik, whatever it is. Co-showrunner of the show was asked about: is there going to be a lot of sex in Game of Thrones? And he said back, and this is like real Kristian. He was like, well, there's not going to be consensual sex, but because of the times, there's going to be a lot of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Which is just like, first of all, what times, bro? It's a fantasy show. You're making it up.
No. But he's not just making it up though, because he's going off of what was said before in Game of Thrones lore, and that was like years after. So let's think about what this country was
the
like.
time that you've made up in your fantasy land.
I know, but there's going to still be this.
There's got to have been consensual sex back then. If you're going to have to show me a bunch of sexual assault, can you show me
some consensual? I know what you're saying, but I think that's probably him also cushioning the blow of we're going heavy
dark.
here.
And it could also have been, like first time he was asked about it and he didn't speak correctly on it. But
Maybe.
like I love sexy fantasy. I think it's fucking awesome when we see, like, I know that there was the whole Emilia Clarke situation where she didn't
but it
want
worked.
whatever it was, and I have a full respect for that. But I do love seeing a nice dong on my fantasy shows. Like I love a good butt. I love get it on, like, because
Well, that was the original name of the show, Boobs and Dongs.
yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Why did they change it, Kristian?
I think there was not enough shaving of the balls. They Manscaped didn't come on board.
Yeah, they couldn't pay somebody enough
But-
to come and keep.
They actually had a guy come in. Remember that one, Brent? Was just like,
Yeah.
you gotta come in and shave the balls.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Balls would be freshly shaven, leash.
All right, I want a real number from you guys. How much would it cost to hire you as a ball shaver on set? Like, that is your only job. You are the shaver of other people's balls.
Well, what's my current situation at the time? Am I
You're 25. You're
looking for a gig?
You're 25. You're looking for a gig.
For them hiring me in the show?
You're living with like 4 roommates.
I don't know. The roommates probably never let you live it down.
Yeah.
What'd you do today? I had to. Momoa was in today. I thought he was going to be cleaner than he was.
Yeah.
It's a forest down there.
Yeah.
I
Can't get that 5 o'clock ball shadow.
Nope. I found a couple hobbits running around. I thought this was the Game of Thrones show.
You talking an 8-hour day, or you just come in for the first hour and you're out? Like, because if it's
8 hours, no shadows allowed.
Hopefully nobody's coming. All right, listen. Before we move on, because I've got to talk about this Comic-Con stuff. I want to hear about Roxy's stories. I also want to tell you about private internet access, and this is another one, very, very important. Today's episode is sponsored by Private Internet Access, which is the most transparent VPN provider that's on the market at the moment. And this is just the software you need to protect your digital life. You might not even be aware of it, but even if you bros, listen to all you bros out there.
What's up, bros?
Look, bros, when you browse in incognito mode, you guys aren't safe online. Your internet service provider is storing your browsing history, and then they sell it to advertisers. That's why all those things pop up. Well, how do they know I like that stuff? Because they know you're not protected. Private internet access encrypts your internet connection, and then it hides your IP address, and then it protects you. All you have to do is connect to one of their 1,000 servers located in over 80 countries, and even a server in each U.S. state, so you can avoid sporting event blackouts, for example. Plus, you get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content on streaming platforms. And private internet access has strict no logs policy, and it's 100% open source. It's also available for all operating systems, and one subscription can protect up to 10 devices at the same time. If you want to start securing your digital life, I have a special deal available for you guys. You can get an 82% discount on private internet access, and that basically is just $2.11 a month, and you get an extra 3 months added to your subscription for free. So, private internet access, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support. It's all risk-free for you. So head on over to privateinternetaccess.com/thebigthing and get private internet access today. That's privateinternetaccess.com/thebigthing. So as I mentioned to you guys many times over, you ask all the time, how can you help the show? Find what is good for you. And when sponsors come to us, we say, okay, well, our audience responded to this, and we have said no to many sponsors before, but the ones that we think that their audience will enjoy or really like or should use, we got them. So check it out. Look at the link in the description and get yourself some private internet access today. All right, Roxy, let's talk about Comic-Con. Was I right in my prediction? Was this your most favorite Comic-Con?
So 50-50, Kristian, because here's what you're absolutely right about.
Don't kiss up and say because I wasn't there.
What'd you say?
Don't kiss up and say because I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was because you weren't there. I love Kristian Comic-Con, though. Comic-Con Kristian. You are so fun there. But I think that it was a couple of things. It was an amazing, amazing time. And I love not having to do the press lines. I don't like that. I don't like doing it. I'm too much of a fangirl in because when you're covering something you love, I ask the questions that are like in season 4, episode 5, when you did this, and they're like, what I don't want to talk about that. Like, just ask me about what I ate for cereal or whatever, So it's not that, and sometimes they don't even know. Like I remember when I was doing the Prison Break, or for Legends of Tomorrow, it was the Prison Break guys, and I was like so stoked to ask about their characters, and one of them was just Dominic,
Yeah,
his name's
you're right,
he was
right.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't read I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just remember always doing the press lines. You're exhausted, you're hungry, you're
Right.
all that. So of course I really, that not working that was great. But if you remember in 2019, I went with Skybound. It was
Yes.
freaking awesome. I was filming all around, like kind of doing my own.
You're a workaholic too, so you
And I
kind of
love to work. I
Right.
love to work.
Right.
And that year I was in that movie Madness and the Method. They had a big Comic-Con premiere.
Right.
So my dream Comic-Con scenario, I'm working a job that I love, like doing something like filming around, or I'm in a movie that's premiering there. But if I can't have that, then yeah, I just want to go party and talk to people and network. And that's what I did this year. And it was so much fun.
That's
It
what I'm
was
saying.
crazy.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
so my experience was 2011 or 2012 was the first time Mark and I covered it for like Machinima through Schmoes, and then we started covering it through movies.com, which eventually became Fandango, and
Right.
I was covering for Fandango, and then Mark and I got a gig for Spike TV, and we covered it for Spike TV. And then one year, holy crap, I did Spike TV and Fandango in the same, and I was working for both of them.
I think I remember that, right? Was it like 2015 or something?
It was the only time I've almost had a nervous breakdown.
What happened?
I was just, I had to be in so many, I literally had to be like in two places at the same time.
Wow.
And Fandango and Spike were kind of like fighting over where I needed to be at what time and how I had to be there. And I had an interview with somebody that I couldn't be there because I had to be on the other one, and I had to be there at the right time and get this.
They both knew you were there with both of them, though,
both
right?
knew that I was there. It was
Wow.
negotiated through my management company at the time, and I had to cover both of these things. And my wife was coming up also, and I was so like I was worked. And I said, I'm never doing that again. And then the next year I covered it for Fandango, and I just did Fandango, and it was for Tiffany and I, and we interviewed a whole bunch of people. And then that was kind of the last big thing that I did as far. And then I covered a couple things for, I think, Schmo, obviously, and to couple off of that other stuff I was kind of doing some Hall H stuff for Schmoes. No, but I think it was 2016, maybe 2017. No, it was the first year that I think I covered a couple things in 2016 for Schmoes, but then I hit a couple of the parties, and I'm like, this is what I'm coming to Comic-Con from now on to do. And in 2017, I didn't work at all. I just was there to network, and I got paid for it to be there for Collider, just to go to the parties and do everything. And then 2018, similar. And then 2019 was for Schmodown, and I just did the Schmodown stuff plus partying. This is where we hung out, Roxy, and we were at the Marriott and everything else too, and all that. And like that was my favorite stuff at Comic-Con.
Was that when it was in like a church?
Yes. In that area, yeah, the 2019. It's a great venue, but it was. I mean, the worst crew to possibly be doing a show at a church. Like we did.
I have a story to tell you about that.
I'm sure, not on air though. But anyway, but yeah. So I think you deserve that kind of weekend, Rox. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it was brutal because I was just recovering from COVID.
Mm.
I was exhausted, and I was like, okay, I am here with my little startup, the World Girls, and I have to put in work right now. Like, I got to talk to the right people. I got to be the most fun. And it was a true blast.
That's
but
great.
It is exhausting.
Yeah.
Like,
you're still working even though you're networking.
My God. And my step count was so high. And then also,
poor you had to go to a party. Yeah, but you're still working.
You're like grooving, and anybody who saw me, I was like moving and grooving. And then we were also shooting man on the street stuff and talking to people and
doing stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And also Steph and I both shot our shot with two different guys, both flat out rejected. That was a fascinating moment.
Celebrities?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Just people.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally. Just
single, or they had significance? Like, was there reason because they were dating somebody?
Yes.
I think Steph's reason. I think the dude Steph went after, I think he didn't say that, but I think so. My dude, no, he just.
But your posture's getting better.
Oh my God. I'm wearing the posture corrector every day.
I know. See,
I'm really working on it.
No.
Yeah, so you would think that would make me
Nothing.
spit better game,
No.
but I
So
guess
no, so no hooking up, no hooking up for anybody this weekend.
No, for sure not. And
All right.
I really thought
You had the game.
I thought I had it. I mean, watching Steph get rejected though makes me remember anybody can get rejected.
It looks like that episode of Bachelorette last night.
Yeah, kind of. We both looked at each other. We were like,
What's
"Damn,
happening?
what's it?" Yeah, you know.
It's so funny you talk about like how when you because my buddies, when I talk to them about Comic-Con, they have like an idea of what they think Comic-Con is, right? Like in no world, in no world, if I told my friends back home about Comic-Con, would they even imagine like someone like yourself or Steph would even be at Comic-Con, right? That's what they think in their head, which is wrong, and it's like it's for everybody, and they but it's like it's also. It's hilarious to think that like my friends would think like, oh, it's what is some guy dressed as Captain Kirk say no to Steph? I'm like, that's not really how it works. But even so, that guy pretty much would say, maybe he would say no to Steph.
I guess he would because he did. But whoa,
I mean, garlic or something.
No, well, we were eating garlic.
Yes, maybe that was it.
This is something I'll tell you guys. I've spent a lot of time with Steph.
Yeah.
I've never smelled anything bad on her, not one time. It's like crazy. She
never ripped a fart or anything?
No, nothing. She sweats so much and she had no smell. I'm like, what the hell is that?
I could be swimming in both of your farts and you asked me how to I had to say sure. I mean, like, what kind of I could be in a pool of Steph and Roxy.
So that's what I'm trying to say. You want to hear what happened with both of us?
Yes, please, because this makes my brain cannot comprehend somebody going, no. I don't give a shit.
Come here a second. Yeah, we're still good.
We're good. Just
we're good. All right.
So for Steph, we went out somewhere and she thought that the waiter was super hot.
Carry on.
He needs some milk. He needs some milk.
No, none of us needed milk. And she thought the waiter was really, really attractive. Mostly because he was really attractive. So we were talking to him for a while.
Jesus.
And then when we left, she left her a note and her number. And he never called. Never texted. That's different. He had told us, he was like, you guys should come back tomorrow. And he said to her, I can't wait to serve you again. And they were like flirting. And then she left a note. And the note, Kristian doesn't even care about this story.
Kristian just wants bubbles, bubbly farts, and then
I care.
I don't think you don't deserve Steph's truth.
I think her handing a number but there's so many variables right there. That number could have fallen out. That number could have been picked up by he grabbed the thing.
He knew it. Hey, look, who knows? It could have been with somebody, whatever. So,
yeah, we think he had a girlfriend because, like, otherwise you're calling Steph.
Yeah.
And then, for me, I slid in somebody's DMs, and he read it and didn't respond.
Oh, hey, what are you gonna do?
It was a tough moment for your girl. It was tough.
Listen.
And this is the worst part. Like years ago, I know that this person was super into me, and I was like, nah. And then we were out, and it was like day 2 or 3 or something, and I was like, y'all think I should just make out with this person? Like, I haven't made out with somebody in so long, and whatever. And they were like, who cares? Just do it. And I was like, yeah, it's just like a easy peasy lemon squeeze. Then no response.
Stop sign.
Stop sign.
Yeah, they give you a stop sign.
No response.
Oh, you DM the person who liked you, who gave you the no response.
Yeah.
Do I know this person?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta find this out. Oh, I think I know who it is.
Really?
Yeah, I think I know who it is. I'm not gonna say it on air. Like, can I say it on air? No, I'm not gonna say it on air. I'm not gonna say it on air.
You can say it. I won't respond either way, though. Okay.
No,
I'm super curious
because I want to. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it on air. I'll put it in the chat.
If you guess this person, I'll be shocked. No. No, we're not. That would be so uncomfortable.
Okay.
That would have been amazing. Oh my God.
Am I in the general area?
No, you don't know this person well. I just know that you know of this.
that
Like,
person.
yeah.
Okay.
Like this person would know you. You would know this person, but they're not like in the schmodown or like.
Do I like this person?
You definitely would. Everybody likes this person who's met this person, I think. Okay. No.
Sorry, this is an inside joke for the poor
This
audience.
is so fun for you guys. Oh no.
Okay. So you get into Dorina is the queen of the party, and you decide you want to try to one up her, and I heard you become pretty good too.
No, I've always actually been pretty decent at this, but at this point, Kristian, I've worked for every company.
Yes.
Like all of the companies that have the big parties. And on top of that, I'm a really good B person. So like Dorina's like a great get in. And then when she's trying to get a lot of people in, I'm a great, don't worry. If you open the door, I'm going to get every single person in behind you, up until me. So we made a great tag team. Like she would be going and then she'd have these like friends that would come meet us that would be trying to get in with her and they're a little, shyer. And then I'd be like, oh no, I work here. It's okay. Don't worry. They're all with me, like, so we kind of
want to be a better liar.
Yeah. I'd say yes.
Fair.
I felt like I was telling 10% of the truth.
Yes, that's fine.
Like I have worked here. I've received a paycheck from here at one point.
That's what you I've worked here. That's what you need to say. Say that way you're not lying. I've worked here.
Yeah. But swallow I've worked here.
But it seemed like it was pretty fun. Like I said, there was just no way with Star Wars Celebration and everything wasn't going to happen. But I will say, moving into speaking of Comic-Con, looking at all the news that came out, very not surprising to anyone that Marvel was really the big headline. Thursday opened up, and it was because remember the main thing. I actually benefited more in this channel for staying home than I would have there. I mean, because right now, like networking, getting out there, we'd be able to get maybe some fun guests and talk to some people. And I'm not saying it would have been beneficial, but it was more beneficial for me on Thursday. The Dungeons and Dragons trailer dropped, or kind of reacted to that one, had my show, and then Friday, I think it was John Wick, which dropped, and I was able to react to that one. And then Saturday I set up because I said this, Warner Brothers is getting a lot of crap for their panel. And I think some of it is justified and some of it is not justified, right? Like they were getting crap for the Henry Cavill. Oh, they should have brought Henry Cavill out. No one from Warner Brothers ever said Henry Cavill was coming out. It was a deadline report.
We said
although that would have been so great.
It would have. Remember this. He was also shooting The Witcher. He was also recovering from being sick. So there was no chance he was going to get there. Do I still think he's going to show up in a Black Adam post-credit scene, or do I think he's still going to be involved in Superman? I do. I just don't think that it worked out for him to be there. This panel was thrown together like days before the Comic-Con. It was thrown together. They weren't even sure they were going to go. And then they went. Dwayne Johnson obviously wanted to go. He obviously wanted to push out and do Black Adam, as he should. He wants to get the word out there about the movie. My biggest thing that I've been saying, I said it in the Sith Council, and I say it again here, their biggest problem that what they did was when you went on the program, it said Warner Brothers Theatrical with announcements from Black Adam and Shazam or whatever too. The panel should not have been called Warner Brothers Theatrical. It should have been called the Shazam and Black Adam panel. Because if it was called that was it. And if it's called that, you know exactly, okay, they're just showing they're just showing Black Adam and they're just showing Shazam. You can still get upset about Cavill not showing up, but that's not their fault. All they told you is that they're going to show up, they're going to show Black Adam stuff and Shazam stuff. They showed that stuff, and then you're out. They're not trying to, there's too much, because if they wanted to do a full panel in the way they could have put it all together, they could have done, okay, look, this is what we have coming out. We've announced the Joker sequel. Here's when we're aiming to do this. Okay, great. We have the Penguin show on HBO Max. Here's a couple things. They can't show any of that stuff. Then just do Black Adam and Shazam, and then wait. Next year they're going to show up. They're going to show up next year.
I think that they have to.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed. I heard that they were doing a fandom, and then I heard that they're not doing a fandom. I'm still kind of confused on that.
I don't think they know yet.
But I think that the truth is what's going on with Warner Brothers in DC, specifically DC. They don't know what they're doing yet. So they had nothing to tell us because they haven't made decisions yet. And that's frustrating as a fan. But I guess I would rather that than them tell us something and then change it in a week. I was bummed that it felt like they really didn't show up in a big way at all. I wish that we had a Cavill moment or Aquaman stuff, or of course, in my dream of dream worlds, who's the Flash? What are you doing about that?
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to happen,
Not even
but
messing.
but if you're not going to do that stuff, then there were so many other, like, we've got the Booster Gold stuff they could have gone into. We've got the Batman TV shows, but those are big from the Batman universe. There were different things that they could have done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Though. They weren't even planning on going. And remember, Discovery just bought this thing over 7 months ago. They're still playing catch up overall.
Yes.
I think that they jumped too. I'm telling you, I really think that they could have saved themselves so much headache on this had they just called it a Shazam and Black Adam panel, because then it's like, okay, you're basically telling us we don't have anything to show you from everything else yet. We will, but right now we're just focusing on these two movies, because when you call it a Warner Brothers theatrical thing, whether or not you put Shazam and Black Adam in the description, if you call it a Warner Brothers theatrical, people are going to be expecting more stuff. But I think that they heard it, they knew, they understand. I think they're going to show up pretty big. But then the question then becomes, and then the other thing, who else I thought dropped the ball that day was Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones puts that panel, that trailer out that we're all raving about a week before Comic-Con.
Yeah, that was weird.
So Lord of the Rings, which didn't put their big trailer out, which I think the Game of Thrones trailer is far superior than, and I really like the Lord of the Rings trailer, but they put their trailer, everybody's talking about the Lord of the Rings because it's a brand new, fresh trailer. Game of Thrones.
Why do you think Game of Thrones did that?
I have no idea.
There was nothing. They didn't do anything special, because we were talking about, like, why did they put this out?
Nothing that made any headlines. I mean, nothing that nobody was really covering, right? There was nothing inside of those panels the ones that really, Dungeons and Dragons surprised everybody. And again, for people, I didn't play Dungeons and Dragons, but overwhelmingly people really love that trailer. I was expecting more of a serious tone than what we got.
Yeah.
But I understand what they're going for, right? But all those other things that you knew by the time we got to Marvel, Marvel was going to be the one that was going to show.
And they were.
Because they did things in a way that went against what we talked about the other day, Brett, and then Roxy, you were on the show too when we were talking about about Comic-Con in general. I forgot.
Thanks for remembering me.
I didn't know if you were there at Comic-Con or we were talking about it, but you were there.
Yes, Roxy, you were there too.
You were there too, Rox. But we were talking about.
I've seen you forever, Roxy.
That's right. But we were talking about making it a show, and the reason why I wasn't even too excited to go, because they show exclusive content, but they put it on YouTube anyway. Well, Marvel said, "Oh yeah, okay, stupid. Well, we're putting Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We're going to show everybody there, not you. We're going to show Ant-Man, not you, but we're going to give you She-Hulk, and we're going to give you Wakanda, and we're going to give you all of the slates." They scratched everyone's back. And they put on a show, and they did it right. And they gave you, hey, for everybody who doesn't think we had a plan, here's our plan. For everybody who doesn't think we had this, we have this. You want to hear about more shows we're doing with this? You curious about Avengers movies? We got this. It's like they gave you so much in an hour. It was just Kevin Feige knows how to play it. Plus, they still left it open for a lot of big stuff to happen at D23.
Yeah, there's still like 8 slots in phase 6 that we don't have filled, which is really exciting. And I also think it didn't help that DC and Marvel were on the same day, because then of course you're just going to be talking about Marvel. It's like the last thing that happens that day. And they really, like you said, they made it special for the people at Hall H, but for the people at home, they gave us stuff. And that Wakanda trailer was by far and away the best trailer to come out of Comic-Con.
One of the best Marvel trailers in a very long time.
Yeah, it was excellent. It was
very
excellent.
Long time.
So, and I think people who were concerned that there's not going to be anybody picking up the Black Panther mantle felt eased by this trailer. The music was obviously great.
Oh, so good.
Even hearing Angela Bassett's voice, like a whole thing.
Namor comes out. They show Namor comes out, who is a mutant, and now they're putting more of the mutant stuff in there. The question now is, will there be an announcement of X-Men inside of the D23 announcements? But then there's another report that came out that Fox still owns the rights to the names and the characters up until a certain point. I don't know how that's going to be explained. I have no idea, but they left a lot out there. They left a lot out there they're still going to, and Kevin Feige said as much. He was like, yeah, there's a couple of things we're not going to announce at the current moment, to where he pretty much D23, which D23 is going to be a massive event as well, because you're going to get more. I'm surprised that they showed She-Hulk, but then but the reason I wasn't, after I thought about it, I was like, oh, they're not going to show any Disney Plus stuff because D23 is Disney Plus. But then I said, well, wait a minute. by the time D23 comes along, She-Hulk will be airing. So they probably want to show that to get people kind of pumped up. And it was a good way to start it off anyway.
I am the target demo for that, Kristian. I think that I'm more excited for that show than like any show right now. When I saw this, I don't care much about the CG. They're like making this for me exactly how you described it. Ally McBeal was my jam, and I love superhero stuff, and I love Tatiana Maslany. So
it's perfect for you.
Yeah, it's perfect for me. Perfect. For me.
And that's what, not every show is going to be for everybody. And it's like, it doesn't mean that you have to either, whether it's yell at them for not liking it or tell them, it's or whatever it might be, or you can watch the show and you can love it. And I hope, look, Ms. Marvel, I thought was going to be directed at just kids my daughter's age. That's what I thought, and I was wrong. Like it was a great show. The family dynamic worked even better than the superhero stuff, and it became a really endearing show that I enjoyed watching every week. And I hope, and I love Tatiana Maslany. She is an underrated actress that I think is going to really destroy the role. So I'm wondering if this could be the same thing. But look, I wasn't expecting much, and I want to really laugh, and it's really clever, and I enjoyed it. But I'm also not going to hold back if I don't like it, because I didn't love Hawkeye the way everybody else loved it. I thought Hawkeye was just okay.
My only gripe was I enjoyed the trailer, and it looks like something, and I don't want to be taken out of it because I'm seeing this choppy, thing.
It's hurting the eye sometimes because she doesn't. It's like, I wonder why her CGI looks way worse. And maybe it's because they just perfect. Yeah, maybe because they perfected his, and they he's been in so many different movies that they know, but like hers is so noticeable.
I don't think it's as much that as like maybe that body type of his is easier to CG than her body type, because like big abs are easier to CG than I don't know. I was thinking that too, Kristian, because when it's most noticeable when the two of them are together, where it's like, oh, one of you looks so much better than the other. Yeah.
All right, look, we had a really good show here today. We're back. Like I said, we're gonna do one more, maybe either digital or in studio. We don't know yet, but we'll have a show next week. Hopefully, we can get Roxy on Monday or Tuesday. We'll figure it out, and we'll have a show next week, and that's it. So make sure, if you haven't already done this, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found, please go ahead and do that. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button. We're trying to get to 70,000. We're going to try to do a live tour by the end of the year. If you are in town, please come see us. Jake Lewis and friends. I'm going to be performing. Jamie Costa will be there. Knapsack. I already talked to Jake today. We're going to start getting Brett up on the shows also. So that's it. That's everything. I appreciate you. Roxy, Brett, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.